welcome back to episode 3 of Pardon the Int. We took a long break as I took a month and a half vacation going back home to Australia, and I have been swamped, and we just have not had the time to sit down and do this. But we are back right after the start of the BOL season, right before Worlds. So we are here. It's me, Bully, and Billy once again. Say hello, guys.
Hello, I'm tired. What
What's
else is
up?
new?
Of course you are.
Yeah, you're always tired, Billy.
Always tired.
I mean, even though this one, I guess it's a little more understandable. We are recording this one at like 11 o'clock at night, so at least you get to be tired. This one's more understandable. Um,
True.
but to start, I just want to summarize some things about BOL the first week. I have to say, the one thing that surprises me is that only three of the series actually went to all three games. Uh, just so many 2-0s. Uh, I was not expecting everyone to just 2-0 and be week one.
I definitely agree there. I thought there was going to be a little bit more competition from some of the teams, but I
Yeah,
think some of the series that went 3 games, I wasn't expecting as much, if I remember correctly.
yeah. This either means good things for the rest of the season or bad things. We're
Mm-hmm.
either we're either gonna have some closer matches between the top teams, or maybe it's just some uneven matches week one. I mean, everyone knows sometimes teams have a slow start to the split, so I'm not really worried by all these 2-0s.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, the streamed games won't be 2-0s next week. I know the one for
Yeah,
flat was. I don't know about gold. I don't think I caught
gold
gold
Gold.
was
one.
also
Uh,
two.
Oh
It's I
man.
mean, gold literally had one game that was
Yes.
went to 3 games.
And plat
mm-hmm.
had two. Were there any FFs this week? I,
No,
Thankfully, we haven't had those yet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
they'll
stay
come
that
eventually.
stay that way, guys. Let's stay that way. Okay. Even if you're losing, show up. If you want to FF, don't just show up, play Callista support or Callista jungle. It's better than FFing. At least everyone will get some entertainment. You know.
Kalista support with the Scion ADC.
Oh no.
It's gonna develop a new
What's
meta
the
here.
I feel like Kalista support would never work. Like
I
besides
agree.
throwing people in.
Gold reliant champion. Well, I mean, maybe if your AD carry is like challenger, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
and your only goal is to save him, then he can go ham and you can pull him out. Uh, it's like Thresh but worse.
I mean, yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
like
That's basically what it is.
I think most of the teams like in Plat specifically, like I know Kosa, I know they they've said it before that they know they're just trying to have fun. I
Hmm.
don't expect them to forfeit. I don't expect them to tilt over losses.
Yeah,
Um,
that's good.
Steelers are gonna try to come out and win. I see them talking a lot of shit sometimes, but so I'm not worried about those two at all.
Yeah.
On the other side, I think the Revolution and I don't even know who
Radiant,
the
Little Monkeys, AoE God Squad. Well, AoE
was.
what took a game, but
Oh yeah, it would,
Little Monkeys and
actually the
Radiant
last
were
one
the
was
other two.
MG Precision, but they actually won their first week.
Yeah,
So
they beat God Squad.
yep.
I think.
You say
Yes.
Gob Squad?
God. Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
did say God.
God Squad.
God
Yeah.
Squad. But yeah, I
um,
think I mean it's only a 7 week season, so I don't expect teams to just like give up in week 4.
yeah, yeah, anything can happen. I mean, we saw last season alone. I mean, there were a couple groups that were decided near the end, but I mean, seeding at least, especially. I mean, there was one group. Was it Group B or Group A where we didn't know who was going to be 2 through 4 until literally the last week where the games started
Yeah.
playing. Um, and those matchups ended up meaning a lot more for gold, especially than we thought than we might have thought they were going to mean. Those
Mm-hmm.
three seeds winning. But this brings me to what is your favorite name this season in BOL? Because I gotta say, man, these are some spicy names for teams. From Singed's Crab Shack to Big Duck Entourage. Let's see, Nitwits in Purgatory, Nails and Day Spa, Krakens of Love, mainly these were gold names, but I will say like Bad Bunnies, like Limitless Bad Bunnies, that one I kind of cracked up on.
Their Do you see their updated logo?
I see the one that's on the website right now, the
They
purple bunny
just sent
with
it.
the
Um,
infinity symbol. That's pretty
yeah, they
sick.
just sent it. If you look at our gold logos channel, it's literally, or not gold, platinum.
Platinum. Hmm.
It's literally a bunny on top of the infinity
Yeah,
symbol.
yeah, it's already
Mhm.
updated on the website actually.
Oh,
It's
oh,
the
nice.
pink bunny. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's it. But
And then like, I mean, even for me, like the Revolution, like it's not as funny as these, but like there's some name. I mean, Radiant Storm Guardians. There's some names on here. I mean, obviously we have our orcs that we all know, but like, any of you have a favorite name from these funny names that we have? I think I'm pretty partial to Singed Crab Shack, but that's because
yeah,
I like
it's
Singed
kind of like the
Shayram.
team nachos from last season.
Yeah.
But
But they actually showed up and won a game already. Yeah.
I want them to make a really cool logo. That's the thing.
Well,
If
I
they had a
know.
really cool logo,
I
that'd
can
been
tell you.
sick.
I actually just looked at the roster for that team, and I just realized I know the players on that team.
Mhm.
And their AD carry, they do a lot of graphic design. Like they actually do make logos. Kilgar or Jordan, he does make. I believe it was him that does make a bunch of like logos, digital things like that. It's either him or he knows people that do.
Mhm.
So
Gotcha.
Isn't this just like
they
the
do pretty good.
Singe skin?
That is
Yeah, that's
it's
like
like the
the
surfer
surfer.
singe, but I think they photoshopped in or added in a water bottle. I don't think that water bottle's there.
Yeah.
But it looks
Oh
pretty
wait,
close, right? That water bottle
yeah,
looks added in, and then
yeah.
maybe the is that a I don't know what that is behind the water bottle. The orange and is it like a chalkboard or a TV or am I crazy?
I can't even tell.
I
I
can't
think
tell.
Nitwits in Purgatory is actually really funny as well.
It is.
Yeah.
But
I like the NSG take on Nails and Date Spa. That was pretty good too. Oh
yeah,
man.
they dropped the Oasis name.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not sure
mean,
why, but I know they were never like big on in Oasis. They're like
oh, that's right. I don't know
just
why I said
you know.
NSG. I mean, I was thinking it's an NSG team, and dude, and it's NDS. I don't know why I was thinking the acronym made NSG still. I'm. It's been a long day. It's been
I
a
mean,
long
and
day.
when we have a lot of like return teams, you know, like Little Monkeys,
Hmm.
NSG,
CB.
Goon Squad, but
Limitless is back.
I like that we have literal monkeys, and then the gold team is Monkeys Rising. For the same org, right? Because they're using the same logo.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Crazy on that one. But
pretty
is
crazy.
back. I think Billy said that one. You know, NSG Gold. Last season, NSG Gold was the bottom of the barrel team. This time, it's. I mean, they already started out with a win, a clean
Mhm.
2-0. So,
Yeah, I think they made slight adjustments to their roster.
well, they
They
had like what 3 or 4 teams last time. So now they just have one. So
they they had the two, all three, because I always forget Amethyst
Yeah,
for some reason.
that was
But
the platinum one, right? Amethyst
uh
or Crystal?
no,
NSG
Amethyst was their
Crystal.
gold. Yeah,
Crystal was their
Amethyst was
platinum
gold.
one. The Crystal
Crystal was
one really
platinum.
let Jake down.
Yes, that's right. How could I
Oh
forget?
yeah.
My, dude, I kept like putting money in the bank, and the bank kept taking my money and lending it and selling it on stocks that didn't give the money back, and my money was gone.
Mhm.
And I kept
Yeah,
losing the money.
they really dropped the ball. Maybe
I didn't go to your financial seminar, man.
that's true. But if we had to give the worst logo,
Oh,
what would you say?
I gotta go
Oh,
like worst. I mean, in terms of like bad quality or just boring.
Boring.
it has to be Imperial.
I don't know, man. I actually don't like the rain. I feel bad saying it, but like rain game, like it's just a lion. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not a
that's
fan of
fair.
just the lion. I mean, I guess he's a crown, but like I don't know. I mean, Nitwits in Purgatory also their logo kind of just looks like a Clash logo.
Yeah,
It just looks
Dead
like a
Orbit from
meme.
last season.
It just looks like a Clash
Can we
logo
just
or
can
something.
we just
But
talk about the fact that Monkeys Rising is literally just using the Little Monkeys logo rather
Yes,
than
so
having
that's
their own
why
logo?
I'm pretty sure
that's fair.
that's my take. Monkeys Rising, but they're just
That's
using the
fair.
Little Monkeys.
I mean,
Like,
same org, guys. Come on, they couldn't splurge for a second
I feel
logo.
like they should use like a very baby, like a baby monkey as their
Or
logo.
a monkey eating a banana, like instead of
Hmm.
paying attention to his games and looking focused, he's eating a banana because he's not at that level yet.
I mean, even though, like, I don't know if Jake, if you saw like how close some of these teams are in terms of rank. Like,
No, I haven't. I've looked at some of these rosters. I haven't seen all of them yet. Like, especially not for rank at least. But like, looking through the names, I mean, these look like rosters that are all gonna be pretty competitive.
Mhm.
I mean, but gold has always to me been a momentum. At least for gold, gold has always been a momentum focused like league. Like when you get the ball rolling, your team kind of rolls. Uh, and I think that's like really big. There's not as much fight in the dog in gold. It feels like they take a punch and they kind of go down. So
yeah, it. I think a lot of times, definitely like gold, platinum is like if they lose the first game, like it's a very like all that momentum brings them to
yeah,
losing the second game as well.
I think
And
it's bigger when the teams are close. Like if it's like a 70-30 split, 30 team comes out and they win game one in a
Mhm,
series, they're more likely to win game two.
mhm.
I think, I mean, CB Rush never really had the problem. I mean, this is a platinum team, but they never really had the problem. I mean, they 2-0'd everyone. But like, there were some teams that, when they dropped a game, they did not look the same in that second game.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I mean, granted, we did see, oh god, that was platinum, the reverse sweeps team. Which team was it? The one that was they started in wild card game
Oh,
and
MG Black.
MG was it MG Black? Really?
Wait,
I
No,
the
no.
one
think,
they reverse swept twice in a row. Yeah, right.
yeah,
And they
they
brought
reverse
in.
swept twice in a
Was
row.
it MG
Yeah,
Black that did? Yeah, because they reverse swept G and E the
Yeah,
first time.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like
yeah.
we've seen. I mean, granted, they kind of changed their roster after losing the first two games both times, so different players came in and give them the spark. But it's possible. But yeah, teams kind of get knocked down a little bit. But I mean, like you said, I'm looking at the rosters. They are close. I think it's a crime Feathers isn't a starter there. Come on. What's the sub stuff for Feathers?
That's honestly a
Oh,
good question.
it's probably on him. He probably doesn't want to be a starter, man.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I don't think he was looking for a team at the start of the
I
season.
don't think he was
Yeah.
either.
So he's
He
probably
plays
just
in
taking
so
a
many
sub slot for
leagues
now.
and he's an admin. He's probably like got
Hmm.
asked and he was like, I guess.
Dude, he plays in like 6 leagues. It's
Yeah.
he's crazy.
Yep. But I think that's probably enough BOL for now. Um, I think we'll take a pivot, and I actually want to first talk about LEC playoffs before LCS because with Worlds moving to Europe now, might as well focus on Europe first. They're a shining star. But a couple things. I don't know if how closely you guys watch all of the LCS or if you only or LEC. God, I'm still calling it LCS. Yikes. I don't know if you watched like the summer regular season before playoffs as much. But Mad Lions, not just like to some people their 3-0 over Rogue was really surprising, but they have actually looked like back in their dominant form. And I know that people talk about MSI burnout, and it definitely seemed like they had that because they look really good right now.
Yeah, I mean they, they always had some kind of like special, unique like buff during any playoffs or
Hmm.
and you can never bet against them. And I have more confidence in them winning worlds than like any NA team, which is really sad.
I don't know. I don't know. I could go up with you on that one, but I will say as a joke about Mad Lions, I saw them make this joke. That's why I'm gonna say it too. They've already made it farther than they did last season at Worlds because they've locked in main event and so
Okay.
they've they've locked in main event. Some of the other teams that have locked in main event around the world are TL. Damn One has as well. FPX has from China and LCK. We'll get to that later, but there's a lot in the line in LCK recently. But Genji and T1 are both guaranteed to make worlds. Uh,
So
where
is
they go is dependent on how the finals goes.
so is Rogue still dependent on
Rogue is
the
dependent on
remaining
they
playoffs?
have to beat Fnatic, which is the next one.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if they beat whoever wins the Fnatic Rogue game gets main event, and whoever loses gets play-ins.
Okay. That makes
So
sense.
uh,
so for that one, like, who do you think is actually going to be the play-in seed? Because Rogue just they kind of got smashed, and Fnatic, I mean, they beat G2. It was a series.
It was a series.
Do they ride
I
momentum to beat Rogue, or does Rogue slam the door? I mean, I think if it was Rogue versus G2, we know that Rogue's gonna lose. They always they.
Yeah.
I mean, last time they beat
Mhm.
G2 in spring, but they
I
seem to
think
always lose to G2.
G2 actually, if they beat Mad Lions, I think they could have easily won the whole thing.
G2.
But yeah,
Rest in peace, G2. Who do you think? Who do you
This
think?
is the first time
Fnatic or
that
Rogue?
G2 actually isn't making it, right?
Yes. Fnatic Rogue. Who wins? I think. I think Rogue actually win, but
I think it's Rogue.
I won't be
I
surprised either way.
I definitely think it's gonna be like a longer series. I don't think it's a 3-0 either way,
I
but
think if Rogue gets 3-0'd, I worry for them in the play-in stage.
mhm.
I think it's I'm actually sad G2 lost because I would have loved it. I would have loved G2 beating Fnatic and then losing to Rogue and having the G2 play-ins buff where they just get to go warm up, shit on some minor region teams and then just come in the group stage with like that G2 buff, like that's
Mhm.
that's what they need.
like
But I
uh,
think Rogue is the one I would worry about if they get sent to play-ins because with them being like I think I saw it the other day. I'd have to like stat check it, but these last two seasons, their win record in the regular seasons have been some of the best, like in LEC history and LC and when it was EU LCS history. They're like top five. Like two of their seasons are top five, and they're not winning the finals. It has to be like, I mean, people meme on them as chokers, but it's starting to be that way. So I do worry for them a little bit. Who do you think gets kicked from G2? What changes do G2 make, right? There's no way they don't make changes after not making this Worlds.
Oh, who was I talking? I think I was talking about this with Viper, but I think if I remember correctly, Hilly's off contract, so there could potentially be a transfer if G2
Mickey?
decides to get rid of Mickey.
Hmm.
Hilly reunites with Reckless, obviously, but
Yeah. I really don't know. I mean, like, I think a lot of people think Wonder's like an obvious choice
mhm.
with his, lack of playing and all that, the memes
yeah.
surrounding him. I probably agree after watching him kind of get at. I almost used it. Get destroyed to be nicer in that series against Fnatic. He did not play very well.
Well, we know it's not going to be Reckless because
There's
contract is for another 2 years or whatever.
imagine the backlash
But
from
I
that.
hate him so much. I hate Reckless with burning passion. I don't
Oh
know
no.
why.
That's a hot
I don't
take
know
right there.
why, but he just looks like that cocky, like SOB that I
He
just
looks.
don't like.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen him. I've looked at him as cocky. I don't know. I felt that way about I felt that way about Perks. I don't know if I felt that
Oh,
way
Perks
about
is
him.
very cocky as well, but
I don't know.
yeah, I
Like
think you're right about Wonder. I think that's like an obvious choice, but you never know. They might just be like, you know what, let's just go in a different route.
I
Caps,
think
you're gone.
like I don't know. Like Caps. I mean, he didn't have a great season, but he was starting to look a little better. I don't know. They need something to change in general. Obviously, from not
Mhm.
making it, but there's been discussion on it. Like, it's hard to keep motivation up on a team that's when you've won so many times and then failed at the final hurdle as many times as they have, right? Like, how do you keep motivation up on that team where it's like, well, guys, we've made it to finals, but we're just not good enough to win. Like,
Mhm.
it's pretty hard to keep motivation up on a team like that.
I guess my question is for like regarding just tying it back to the Wonder stuff. Who do you think would replace him? Like, do you think
That's the
GT goes after some import
Imports.
dude.
from?
I think you go after like, dude. You gotta like straight up. I think you go LPL. I think you go look at the LPL teams that aren't gonna make worlds that have insane top laners. There's
Mhm.
a lot of them. Like WE, they might not even make worlds, which is fucking crazy because they're top three guaranteed right now in LPL playoffs. But they might not even make worlds. Breathe is one of the best top laners in the world. Flandre on EDG, there's no way you get him.
And they're
Um,
Mhm.
cheap. That's a big thing too. It's
I
like,
mean, you probably pay them more than other people on your team, but you don't
yeah,
have
yeah,
you're not gonna have to be like Sword Art forking over that much like TSM
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you
It's
have to do that much to lures, especially from like bottom teams. I don't think you have to do as much. I mean, look at it was FPX, their sub top laner that they put in for Khan. dude, he fucking killed it in his debut in the LPL. I mean, you could go after someone like him. Um, I mean, Broken. As much of a meme as it
Yeah,
is, Broken Blade, not bad.
I think he was just in a bad situation. It's like I don't know. I think if he was on a different team, um,
I think Broken Blade definitely has a fire to win still.
yeah,
I don't know. I
hmm
don't know if his personality is what you need. I feel like that team desperately needs someone that is like holding their hand in and out of game. Like someone that is just gonna kick their ass
oh yeah,
when they're not like up to par and stuff.
hmm
Like that has a strong desire to win. I think Reckless does, but I don't know what happened, but from everything it seems and hears is like he's kind of quiet and more reserved to himself than he is like team focused in terms of like directing people. So they probably just need someone that like can do that for them as a teammate,
hmm
which I don't know who that would be. And that if that is the case, you probably wouldn't go after an import. At least you need them to speak English, or I don't think they have enough like Danish players on their team or anything to only speak a different language other than English. So you
they
probably
just
need
gotta go to like Turkey, find some insane players.
maybe. I mean, maybe you just need some mechanical prodigy on your team.
Oh, dude, imagine like becoming like you know how like scouting in baseball like they have to have like each teams have an insane amount of scouts.
Yep.
What if you just have scouts everywhere around the world looking for the next like it looks like you find like a 12-year-old that's like has amazing mechanics in like Platinum 2,
Dude, just pick up
just like starting out the game, you just develop them into
man.
like
Well, so I've heard
just
this like the rumors. I don't know. People have discussed it on some other podcasts too. Maybe like Yanko's going to Cloud9, right?
ooh,
Joining Perks because his contract is up,
yeah.
and then maybe you get a new jungler on G2, right? Like imagine what if it was a Blabber a Blabber Yanko swap, dude? A straight one for one Blabber Yanko swap.
that'd be in
Imagine.
that would be
That'd be.
weird to say the least.
I mean, I know Yankos would want to play with Perks
It
again.
it I don't
hmm
think it would happen.
I don't think it would ever happen, but I don't know. C9 would get better from that.
Oh, 100%. I think Blabber is a unique person.
Well, let's just think about how far he fell. He was MVP spring split, no?
Yeah,
So,
I think it's because like he was able to pull off shit that like all the other teams didn't expect until he got to like
I,
playing international and just got absolutely
I mean,
destroyed because he wasn't able to do the same stuff.
the
And
biggest problem
so
too with like critiquing jungle is, I mean, Perks played like crap, right? And their bot lane. I mean, Vulcan played well. I don't know. Sven didn't really play that well. I don't think either. But when your mid laner is Perks was running it. When your mid laner is running it, it is harder to play jungle. But a lot of Blabber's mistakes also looked like they made it harder for Perks to play well. So it was like they were both playing bad, and it just made each other also look even worse. So so I mean, it's really weird situation they have. Um, who do you think wins LEC? I still think it's Mad after 3-0 in Rogue, especially.
yeah, it will probably be. I think the best chance would be Fnatic beating Mad. I don't think Rogue beats him, but I also heavily believe that the first game is going to be a big tell of who's going to win the series. Because I could
Hmm.
feel it, just like the
Okay.
momentum just staying on one side for the finals.
I just think if Matt is in form after watching them play against Rogue, especially if they're in form, I don't think anyone in LEC beats them. So I'm hoping
hmm
they're in form because I would love to. It's the same thing for me because we're about to pivot to NA with Team Liquid. If Team Liquid stays in form, I don't think anyone beats them, and they actually look really good in form. They look like one of the best teams NA will have ever sent to Worlds if Team Liquid keep playing the way they've been playing in playoffs.
Yeah,
Now
hmm
that they finally have Santorin and Alfari.
yeah. It, that Alfari thing in the beginning of the season really made me mad because I drafted him in fantasy.
Oh
But,
yeah.
but
Not to
like,
mention like Santorin not being able to play and like tactical played worse like by a lot. Like I mean
hmm
yeah, 100%.
Jensen didn't even look good. Like Jensen couldn't play Lee Sin and then Lee Sin got nerfed and then he finally could. It was like as a team they weren't looking good.
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
now they look insane. So fingers
And core
crossed
JJ
for
is always
them.
good. So
And they've qualified for main event worlds. Hopefully they don't go 0-6. I don't think
yeah,
Mhm.
I don't think they could. I couldn't
that's
see
the
a
only thing
world.
TSM could do.
I mean, I just couldn't see a world where like with players like Alfari and Core JJ that I mean Core JJ seems like he has the ethic. I mean, we know he's already won a world championship, but like he seems like he has the work ethic that he wants to win another, and I definitely think Alfari wants to win.
Mhm.
The
Oh
rest
yeah,
the
hundred
rest
percent.
I mean like yeah, they probably all do, but like Jensen maybe you can say is a little more burnt out. I mean, he's played a lot longer. He's won made it to MSI finals, right? He was on that TL team. Yep, that was with Double Lift, right? That was Jensen Double Lift when they lost to G2 in MSI finals.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's fallen a lot far
And
from like
and he's
the. I
finally
can't
won
wait to
NA,
clap
right?
Faker part.
Yeah, like Jensen won NA, right? He was
Yeah,
on yeah, he's on one of the
Mhm.
TL teams that won NA before. So he's kind of checked off most of the boxes he had for his career. So I definitely think like with Alfari coming in, like they're finally with this team here, they definitely want to win. They have players that I couldn't see a world them going 0-6. Like I couldn't see if they do, I couldn't see some of those that team staying together ever if they
yeah.
go 0-6.
Here's the question: what becomes the breakpoint for you where you consider their world's performance a success? In your guys'
They
eyes, at least.
they need to make quarterfinal. They need to.
Yeah,
It
I
depends on their group. I won't because there are some teams, especially with how the world's shaking up. There are teams they could get in their group where second, where first is should be expected. But I don't think it should be depending on their group. But I definitely think unless maybe they get the second seed and then they get screwed and they get like Dam one and like
Mhm.
FPX in their group, uh, and then they're screwed. But I think quarterfinals should be the goal for that team. And if they get a really hard group, then I think it's a failure if they can't take a game off of
Mhm.
like the second seed in their group. So like if like Dam1 was first in their group and it was like EDG is as the second. Like if they can't take a game off of one of those top two teams, at least a single game, it would be a failure for me.
I mean, if they make it the quarters, I expect them to take at least a couple games, if not win the series, because I don't want them to just fall down and just like,
Yes.
oh, we made the
Mhm.
quarters, we're good.
Yeah, I mean
I
they'll be
expect them to,
playing if they make it as a two seed, they'll play a one seed.
yeah,
So chance like they're not gonna be favorite. I don't think they'd be favorites to win,
oh,
like,
they're
but I
definitely
definitely
not.
expect them to go like 3-1. Like if they get out in quarters and the games don't even look good, that's where you're like, what's happening?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
that's the point for me too. Like, I just want them to actually make a good showing and make it to
but
quarterfinals.
I
I
don't know
don't
if you
want
saw
it to
that little
be.
stat where it's like NA gets out of groups and uh, the one where they don't is EU. Both times it's an EU. Worlds is an EU. They haven't made it out of groups.
yeah,
Oh wait.
And it's just like TSM doesn't make it to Worlds and Korea loses. No wins. No, they lost. Both times TSM didn't make it to Worlds, it was China that won, I think.
Huh. That's interesting.
no,
So
I think a big part of the TL team is going to rely on tactical and core JJ to be the,
I think it relies on tactical to not end.
yeah, they need to be the like two players that lead the team to win instead of like tactical running it down and making it
Yeah.
harder. And Alfari is going to do well, I think, regardless.
Yes.
And that's the big point of where
I think
they
it's
could
gonna
take the
depend
pressure off the bot lane.
so much on their group because honestly, Damwon isn't a terrible matchup for TL because Damwon's bot lane is their weak link and it's TL's weak link, so it's like they won't get blasted. But like you put TL's bot lane against Viper and Ming, or Viper and Mako, it's doomed. You put him against Gala and Ming, it's pretty doomed. Um, I mean even WE's bot lane, Elk and Missing have just been completely dumpstering some people. So it's like there's some bot lanes in the world that I mean you still have Jack you love. Well, Tabi Sports can't make it.
Yeah,
LWX like FPX with Doinby is popping off like there's some matchups out there. Teddy Carrier or Gumayushi Carrier, either way, like TL's pretty screwed against them. I'll be curious. There's some minor regions. I think it's LJL. Oh, I can't remember the stat. I saw the stat the other day, the duo proximity stat. And the region that had the lowest duo proximity, I think it was LJL. I remember doing research on it. The reason their proximity is so high, like the support to the AD carry versus most regions, was because they play a hyper carry bot lane meta. Like it's like Kog'Maw, Lulu, like just hard hyper carry bot lane meta. So there are minor regions where their bot lane is their main focus, and if that's TL's link is weak, I mean, we'll see, right? Like if their weakest link can beat the strongest link on the other team, obviously it's good for an A. But
Mm-hmm.
that might be a place where TL gets exploited at Worlds. Not, I really don't think it'd be core JJ. I really do think it'd be tactical running it down. But we'll see. We
Yeah,
will
hopefully that
see.
doesn't happen, and we actually get a good showing from NA this season.
Who's gonna be the play-in seed for NA? You think it's Cloud9 or 100? I think it's actually gonna be 100
Oh,
Thieves. I think Cloud9
I
gonna
think
beat them.
Do you think it's gonna be 100 Thieves?
I do. I think 100 Thieves lose to Cloud9 because that's the match that decides it.
I
mhm.
I think C9 is gonna win it. I think they're gonna.
So then it'd be 100 Thieves getting playing.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
really,
I think it's on phase.
I just
and that would be really
someday
bad because
hasn't.
I feel like 100 Thieves are just gonna get demolished in plans. So
Someday just hasn't been playing well. Like
not
playing, like I really just think it's like so much about someday. I do think closer's champion pool now is kind of becoming an issue as well, but it's so much on someday. I mean, you can see it with closer though because like in a game 5 against TL, what did they go to? Olaf. Like yes, it's like his signature champ, but that's what you're going to in a game 5 in this meta is Olaf. Okay.
well, I like Abadage. I think he's
I
super
do,
good.
and I think
But,
FBI and Huhi have been really consistent and really good.
mhm.
And someday hasn't looked good, and closers kind of hit or miss champion pool. Some
Yeah.
games he carries, some he doesn't.
Someday just feels like mediocre nowadays.
Hmm.
Eh, like
He's like an
sure,
impact,
yeah,
but
they
where
could
he
hold their lane, but they're not gonna do anything to like win the game. But they could do a lot of things to lose them a game. So
I wouldn't even compare him to Impact though.
I
Like
think Impact is better
Impact
than
is,
Sunday,
yeah,
100%.
Impact is definitely better than Sunday at this point.
Yep, I agree. I agree. Um, I
Sunday
saw
is
this
just the budget impact apparently.
I saw this tweet from Monte Cristo, and it got me thinking, and I'm in agreement with him. He was saying that he thinks this has the potential to be one of the strongest three NA teams to ever go to Worlds. I think it is tied with 2017 NA, but I do think this is probably some of the strongest teams we've ever sent. Do you
You're
guys
making me
agree?
look
Or
this up, aren't you? Well,
2017 was C9 Immortals TSM, and it was the Immortals that went like undefeated in the regular game.
that was
Oh,
the Huni reign over
Yes.
Immortals, right?
Yes. And
yeah.
this is going into I mean they bombed at Worlds and some of the teams didn't show up, but going into Worlds that was some of the most hype behind NA. And I do think like I mean you got to think about some of the other ones, right? Where you had like Clutch. You didn't really have much faith in Clutch doing well.
Mm-hmm.
100 Thieves that year they made it as the third seed where it was like Ricaro playing 80 carry at Worlds like I mean there have been some to say like all three teams are pretty well rounded. Like when you're saying someday is probably your weakest link on your team, you probably have a decent team. So I think it's tied. I don't know if I'd put them above 2017,
I
but
think the top two I think would be above though.
yes, I think that's the biggest thing is like the ceiling
Yeah.
on some of these top teams. Like if Perks actually gets into form, right? If Blabber looks like the MVP that he has been, there's so many like question marks, right? If if Fudge keeps playing well, if Sven starts showing up, if Vulcan keeps playing well, and at TL it's like, will they stay consistent or will they show the classic NA where it's like teeter totter,
Yeah,
seesaw?
I mean, at the beginning of the season, this Cloud9 team was like, with their
Spring.
roster, you would think, okay, this team is definitely gonna be like,
You would think they would lose spring, win summer, maybe.
yeah,
If
yeah.
anything, like Fudge needs room to grow, Perks needs room
Mhm.
to get used to NA, Blabber needs to start working with Perks. Like, no, it was the opposite. So
Yeah, like this team was like going in, it's like for like they won, and they're like, oh my god, this team is gonna be cracked, but then it just all fell apart.
then they
I think
lost.
mostly because of Sven not playing for like.
Then they lost to my boys in the LCO region.
Unicorns Love.
No, they lost to Pentanet.
Oh yeah, you're
Oh,
right.
Then they lost to Pentanet at MSI, and it was
I
over.
remember that.
Oh man.
God.
Okay. Same thing with G2, right? TSM has spent big. way too big, in my opinion. So who's gonna get replaced on that team, or do they? I can't see Reginald keeping the same roster. I mean, with how quick.
Erickson makes a comeback.
Well, that leads into another question of is anyone in NA coming out of retirement? But like, who does get replaced? Because I mean, they spent what
Oh,
11 million, right? Huni was 5 and Sword Art was 6, and
how
they didn't
long?
even make Worlds. I don't know the
So how
contracts.
long
That's the big
has
thing.
PoE been
He's not
in
really.
NA?
I don't
Is
uh,
think
he
he's a
is he close to
resident.
getting resident status?
it's been less than a year, right?
PoE?
Power of Evil. Let me see. I don't know what is resident status. 2 years? No, 4
I think they upped it to 4.
He came in 2017.
Oh yeah.
He's been here since
He may
November
be getting
2017.
resident status this
He's
year.
been here two. Let's see. He was on Optic, two splits on Optic, um, three splits on CLG. No, two splits on CLG. So that's 2 years. A whole year on FlyQuest is 3 years, and then TSM. So this is his fourth year.
I believe so.
Let me look at residency rules. They have to have what? Um, they must have participated in at least 50% of regular season matches. Okay, hang on. Official rules. Let me read this. It,
Honestly, I think if they replace someone, it's gonna be Spica.
really?
Are
Yeah.
Do you think so? I don't
I
think there's a better upgrade.
I think if they have an option, if someone comes on the market that they're able to replace, I think it's gonna be Spica. I don't think anyone else on that team besides like Huni.
Two, four,
I
six.
think it's
He
odd. Like if
does get residency next year. Because so you have to
I think
live
if
in the region
PoE's
2 years, which he has, but you have to play
Mhm.
8 of the last 12 splits have to be played in that region. It looks like.
Okay, so
Which
he
would be
should be getting
this
it.
would be his 8th split.
You
So
think they
Okay.
would replace Lost?
I
I
think
think if
Lost is the
PoE's
one to
getting
replace.
residency, you have to replace Lost with an import.
And I don't know the contracts, but I'm gonna assume they probably can't get rid of Huni and Sword Art after this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably. It's
Which
definitely not gonna be either one of
Which I
those.
think Cooney would be maybe one of the next he'd replace just because of the money on him if he
Yeah.
Mhm.
could, like to re-sign him the money. But I don't think the contracts let them. I don't know if you would replace Spica. I really do think it's just lost. But knowing TSM, they might just go out and try to buy a import jungler real quick
Yeah,
too.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Is I don't I don't know. He just didn't mesh well overall with the team. Yeah, I mean you could say the same thing about Lost, but if they upgrade Lost, then
TSM Danny,
that's
TSM Danny. I don't think he.
Oh, EG isn't letting Danny out of their fucking
I
sight.
don't. I don't.
dude.
Well, I don't think
Danny is
Danny's.
gonna be on that team forever.
I don't think Danny. I think Danny's good, but I don't think he's like a plug into any team player. Like
No, no,
he
Mhm.
no.
fits EG's.
I
I
feel like
mentioned.
with Sword Art, I think it'd be perfectly good.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting potential. Anyone Bjergsen coming out of retirement now, man?
I guess. Wait, you said
Double.
POE is getting resident status,
He should be. I
so that
believe
means
so.
they could actually get an import for.
Yeah, they have an import slot opening up.
Yeah.
I would. I think PoE is gonna become one. Um. It looks like he will become one. I mean, he'd have to like double it, but the rules are kind of worded in a weird way, but it sounds like 8 to 12 splits, and you have to live in the country for 2 years. So I don't know if he's been living in NA the last 2 years either, with like COVID
Did he take?
and online, and I
I
imagine
mean,
he's
yeah.
been living in LA still with the TSM people, but
I think they just need to get rid of their contract with FTX. I think that's what they actually destroyed their team.
come on, dude, Double Lift comes back. No Double Lift, no Worlds.
How much was that contract? Like 10 years, 300 mil or something?
It's
I
like
have no
3 years,
idea.
270 something.
3 years. I thought it was 10.
I don't
I know
remember.
it. I thought it was like a long one, like 10 years too.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember. I just remember the 3 letters. 300 mil, or something like that.
And yeah, and then they also sponsored like the gold advantage.
210 million. Okay, 210 million for how many years? Uh, 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 uh,
Oh yeah, but they can't actually rebrand the LCS team though,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, even
So
with
that it's just
LCS
everyone is FTX
it's because
besides the
it's a riot rule.
sponsor.
The riot rule where you can't have like the cryptocurrency thing in your name. I think that's a riot rule. I remember.
Yeah, bring another phase
It's not like
issue.
LC. Yeah, it's not like LCS. It's a riot thing. From what I remember.
Double lift comes out of retirement.
But to the regions you guys know less about. Okay.
Oh my god, I don't know anything
LCK.
about any other player.
Okay. Well, I'll hit you with it for LCK. Okay. Chovy has one shot. Not really. He's got like one shot to make worlds. I think Chovy's Hanwha Life. They have to one. They have to go the regional fight through the regional gauntlet as a fifth seed. So they have to play
They have to
three
run it,
matches.
don't they?
They have to run the gauntlet. Yes. Chovy
Yeah.
the gauntlet, which I don't think is too terribly hard. The teams in there are really
Oh,
bad.
who's in the gauntlet? Hold up.
Live Sandbox and Nonshin Red Force, which technically were two of the top teams in LCK. They split in the summer. Um,
That's hmm.
if you didn't, if you don't know the standings, okay, if you didn't watch summer season, okay, Namshim Red Force was 12-6, Live Sandbox was 11-7, Hanwha Life was 7-11. There was the six teams that made playoffs all basically had the same record. There were three 12-6 teams and three 11-7 teams.
Jeez.
Um,
Yeah,
so
so they okay. So
so
Hanwha does need to
Hanwha,
like straight up run it.
yeah, they have to win two matches. They only have to win two matches,
Yeah, but I mean against
but they
any
do
of
have
the
to.
LCK teams, it's gonna be hard, no
Yes,
matter what.
yes. The teams they have to play were on the upswing in the regular season, and then in the playoffs, I mean, one team lost to Dam1 and the other lost to T1. So, you know, is it the biggest surprise? No, not really. They did lose to like good teams. So, um, yeah, because T1 beat Libs. See, because Namshung like beat Afrika. Afrika don't even get a chance to qualify for Worlds.
Yeah, it sucks because they're actually a good team.
Keen is one of the best top laners in the world.
Oh yeah, and
Mhm.
he's still growing. That's the thing. It's like
There's still a chance that T1 ends up in gauntlet, correct?
Yes,
Like
that
if
is what I was
they
gonna
lose
say.
to
So with the way the finals works, okay, if T1 beats Dam1, T1 and Dam1 go to main event, and um, has to win to go to main event. They're either main event or plans. T1 lose, it's Genji and Dam1 that get main event, and then T1 is still qualified for Worlds, but they're either playing or main event based on if they win in the gauntlet.
okay.
So they whoever if T1 loses, they go into the final match of the gauntlet where it's winner gets main event, loser gets play-ins.
Okay, yeah.
Because of the way points are, they're the third. They're the third in points. Jinji's the second. Dam1's the first, and the points are locked for LCK playoffs. The
Mhm.
finals don't give you any more points because if you win, you qualify. So
Yeah.
points are locked. So yeah, T1 want to win because they want to be the one seed. They could literally
Mhm.
go either as the one seed for LCK or the fourth seed. And I do think they should win. I actually think
Mhm.
they should win, but will they? Who knows? It's Dam1.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Teddy wasn't playing the majority of the regular season. He just came
It's
back
Guma Yusi.
recently for playoffs, right?
Yep, because Teddy got subbed in for playoffs, but it was Guma Yusi that played a majority. Well, he played like the last half of the split. Teddy was playing the first half, and they subbed in Guma Yusi or Guma
Okay.
Yushi, and they started winning more with Guma Yushi, arguably. So
That's always an interesting one for me. Just how they rotate out their ADCs on T1.
they have two of the best AD carries in the world.
Yeah,
So
they have two of the
it's
best AD carries in the world, of course. But
so
it's always
it's
interesting just the timing of it. At
I
least.
definitely think their main thinking because they started in quarterfinals, right? So and luckily LCK is not a gauntlet bracket anymore. It's not double
Mhm.
elimination, but it's not a gauntlet. Um, and I definitely think their thinking was like we want the not rookie in the matches that decide if we go to Worlds. Like if Teddy plays bad, maybe we'll sub him in. But I definitely think they didn't want Gumayushi to have the pressure of being like a rookie and being on T1 and deciding if you're going to Worlds or not,
Mhm.
all on him.
That's fair.
and then they 3-0'd, right? So they won every game, and then Genji they went 3-1. So it was like it's not the most surprising in my opinion. Um, I'm curious who they bring because Worlds I think you still only get 6 people.
I thought they upped it to 7 last year.
It is 7. You're right. So who do they bring? I don't think they bring their backup top laner anymore.
They probably
I don't.
it's
Do they
Honor
bring
and
closer?
Cuz, right?
Do they bring well, Owner and Cuz are the two junglers. I mean, they have three junglers. They have three junglers. So
Yeah,
they have three junglers. They have two AD carries, two mids, two tops. Technically, they have two supports, but they're never gonna sub out Carrier.
yeah. Gumayusi's coming no matter what.
I think Teddy
Uh,
and Gumayushi come. I don't like. Do you bring closer? I mean, with Aurelia getting nerfed, maybe not now. I don't know if you the one game T1 lost was Faker's Aurelia. Closer was
yeah.
probably in the back molding. The one
It's
Aurelia game he
okay.
didn't get to play.
No matter how hard you nerf Irelia, Irelia's always gonna be there.
True,
True.
but
So annoying.
I don't think they're gonna bring closer. I would think they bring a jungler.
I I think the logical thing is bring a jungler, but I also do think that bringing closer could be good for his development.
I
Yeah,
think if you go play-ins, maybe you bring closer.
that could be true. Honestly.
You let closer just smurf on some people and then ride the wave, you know? Because closer is more. He's like a leader. Closer's a lot
Hmm.
like the closest reference they have is a lot like leader. But technically Elm isn't on T1's roster. Like as a, I don't think like he hasn't played in a while, so it's probably gonna be Cuz they would bring, and then Teddy or Gumayushi and Cuz, you know. Like I said, technically they called up Hoyt as a backup support, but there's no way you bring a backup support. I mean, Carry is the
There's no way you bring Hoyt. Yeah.
best. I mean, okay, look, if you didn't know, I just found this out. Carry and Hoyt have the same first name. Okay, same player, maybe. I say, do you, do you know who you know what teams Hoyt played on? I think he was on some bottom. Yeah,
He
Elm's
was
on the
on
academy
some of the
roster.
bottom. What
Nope,
was the last one? Was he
Damwon.
on? Oh wait,
He was on Damwon before
he
Barrel
was on
was.
Damn One. Okay, I don't know why my mind immediately went to like
He was on Damwon when they had Nuclear. Well, he was on there
yeah,
with
he was
Ghost
on there
too,
with
but I
Nuclear.
don't think he played when it was with Ghost. I think it was Barrel that played.
Did was he ever on? I don't know why. My mind immediately just went to BBQ Oliver's. I feel like
Um, he was
I
in.
don't think so,
He was on
but
no. He was on a team called Mirage, and then he was Damwon.
okay.
He was on a team called
That's
Soul, then Mirage, and then Damwon and to T1 Challengers.
why did I
So
think he was ever on? Okay, that's weird.
uh, but yeah, technically Elm's officially on their academy roster now, so he won't be coming. But do you think Chovy's gonna pull it off, get the fourth seed? Do you know enough? I actually don't think he will, but
I don't think so.
I wouldn't be like overly surprised either way.
I think out of the teams in the gauntlet, I think it's still probably.
It's either Nongshim or Live Sandbox then.
I think it's Nongshim.
Ooh,
Peanut's just gonna carry them.
Peanut. I think Peanut will
that's fair.
carry them. Oh, who's their mid laner? It's Gory, right?
It's funny you say that, yes. And that's why it was so laughable there for a while in LCK standings because Gory came back, he subbed in
Mm-hmm.
this summer season, and people were like, he's the best mid laner in LCK, and it's like, how bad are these people playing that Gory is the best mid? He didn't suddenly become the best mid after being like bottom tier forever. It just means everyone's playing bad,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It definitely looked
It was
that
just
way.
his patch, you know.
I do want to see how he does perform because I definitely think the Nongshim team is far better than the
I
sandbox
just
team that they'd be sent in.
I just like eventually Chovy will get a top side of the map. Like eventually he
Yes,
won't have to deal with. I think Willer is the fucking backup jungler now. It used to be Johan and like
they had
Goat.
3.
Yeah, well they have what Dudu and Morgan in top lane, and Dudu is pretty Dudu.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It was Arthur. Yeah, they had Arthur, but Arthur's gone from jungle. Now it's Willer. and Johan. And Johan's the one that starts more. Um, so I don't know.
Yes,
Chovy needs a
I
jungler.
think.
Get Chovy.
Yeah.
Get Chovy a jungler, guys. Please.
Yo, Faker just seems like he's like 50 at this point, even though he's like 25.
He's playing like it. No,
Yeah.
no. I think it was might have been an LS clip where it was like Faker actually hates the shaker jokes because he's actually like really worried about
Oh
them or
yeah.
whatever. So
Oh,
he's getting old, man. He's getting old.
I mean, yeah,
I think I
that many
remember that.
years of gaming 17 plus hours a day will do that to you.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, it's true that, man. Very, very true. Um,
like, I don't know how they could sustain that. Like, what is he gonna do after he's done with League of Legends?
that's a good question. Well, he has the military coming up, right? Korea has the forced military at a certain
I
age, or did he already have
don't.
that?
I think wait.
I
I
thought
don't
that was
know.
So
after your. Cause he's 25 now. What's the?
you get an exemption for winning a national event. I think,
Oh,
right?
really?
Good
I
God.
thought I thought so because that
I'm
was
trying
like
to
one of
remember
the
who it
things
was.
I
I know.
remember from the Olympics.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Well, I mean, you get an exemption to play at a national event.
All able-bodied Korean male between the age of 18 to 20 are required to serve in the country's military for about 2 years.
Okay. I don't think Faker's done that yet because he hasn't had a 2 year break.
Wait, K-pop stars can delay their military service until the age of 30.
Yep. Yep. They love them. um, but moving to LPL because this is my favorite region to watch. You guys, I know still less about that.
Hmm.
You know the playoff format in LPL and how it works.
No clue.
Okay, so there's 10 teams that make playoffs in LPL,
Hmm.
and it's a double elimination bracket when you get to top 4. Before then, um it's like 9 versus 8 and 7 versus 10. And then the winners of those play like the 6th seed and the 5th seed, and then the winners of those play the 4th seed and the 3rd seed, and the winners of those make it to the double elimination bracket. So we're the 1 and 2 seed of the regular season automatically are in the double elimination bracket. So you have to, if you're the bottom seed, if you're a 7 through 10 seed, you have to win 3 best of 5s in LPL to make top 4.
Yeah, and that's why they're all just
And
jacked when they get into Worlds because
and
they're that much
yeah, and
practice.
and for LPL, only the top team that it's the same thing. Like unlike NA and stuff, they have a regional final like Korea does. So a team like WE, who won, they beat EDG. So they're right now in the winners finals. So they're guaranteed top 3 placement.
Okay.
They don't even with championship points they have, um, even if they get second, let's see, if they get second, it's 110. So they get 30 more. Even if they get second, they don't qualify to Worlds off points if they lose. So they have to actually still go to regional finals and play it, even if they get second. Because RNG has enough points that if FPX win the summer split, RNG qualify for Worlds, even though RNG went out in top 6 in playoffs. So RNG's a
Huh.
little lucky they won. But I bring up the gauntlet mainly because the miracle run has happened in the LPL that the two team on the top half and the bottom half of the bracket, the team that started in the first match won 3 best of 3s to make it to the top 4. So WE beat OMG, BLG, and Rare Atom and EDG, but they beat those 3 teams to make it to top 4, where they beat the second seed EDG as well in the regular season. And then LNG with Tarzan, they took down Suning in the first round. Then they took down Top Esports, and then they took down RNG. So they kind of slayed 3 giants in a row. Then they got destroyed by FPX, but they slayed 3 giants in a row. uh, so the LPL playoffs have been crazy to watch, to say the least. Um, it's crazy over there. I'm pretty sure FPX is just gonna smash everyone. Doinby is probably the best mid in the whole world right now. When he won Worlds, he was actually really bad by comparison to how he is right now. So if you haven't seen any LPL games, I'd recommend watching some Doinby because this man is on crack. um, One of the scariest things to me about this world is I actually think some of the best mids in the world aren't going. Like Knight isn't gonna go.
Oh
Chovy's
yeah, Knight's not going.
Chovy's probably
Holy.
Chovy has a chance to not go.
Bjergsen's not going.
True, true. Um, who else is there? I mean, Angel's probably not one of the best, but he's not going. Um, Fofo and Raradim is really good. And then Kareem from OMG is a rookie. He's really insane. But I mean, there's just some mid laners that aren't going to Worlds. Like if Chovy doesn't make it, Chovy and Knight not at Worlds is crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bot diff.
True.
Well, Chovy did have Jackie Wolf, and Jackie Wolf was running it down. So true.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so
But it's like I don't know.
Chovy's
It's
jungle diff.
there is kind of like a I don't know. I feel like it's just like a game, like back in the
Caps,
day, like
Caps
10 years ago,
definitely.
or not 10 years ago, like 6, 7 years ago. Like one player, like a mid player, can just like 1v9 a game.
Yeah, they've
It's not like
definitely
that
made
anymore.
the game more team focused. I mean,
Yeah.
Caps neither, and I know he didn't well, but you know, when Worlds ended last season, if you came and you were like Chovy Knight and Caps aren't gonna be at this next Worlds, you'd probably laugh. Like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right. So,
I mean, think about this. Like, if we took this TL team
mhm.
and we threw them back 7 years ago into Worlds, how do you think they would do?
So it's season 3 Worlds?
What year is it? Sure.
Season 3 Worlds is
Yeah,
FaZe
season
debut.
3.
Okay.
Let's do season 4.
Okay. I want to look at some of these teams because this is you're drawing on me here.
Season 4 was like Dandy.
Samsung Light. Okay, so Bjergsen was there. Hi, Zhao Zhao, Froggen,
Haha, Zhao Zhao.
Froggen, Xpeke, Jezzes and Svenskaren and Freddy and Gilius. Oh my God, Svenskaren was there. Holy shit.
Wait, I forgot.
Um, oh,
Holy.
Name, the biggest letdown. Corn and Uzi and Insect.
Oh, that was the year LMQ was there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spirit Dot Deft Heart, Pawn Dandy. You said
Oh,
which
this is the
team?
year Samsung teams were just so good.
Samsung versus
Yeah.
Samsung. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the worst Samsung team actually won.
Yeah.
What was the team you said if we threw TL?
Yeah, TL.
Alfari, Santorange, and Santac. They get shit on. I feel like a lot of these teams just completely dumpster them. But it's also
I don't
I
even.
mean, it's hard to say because like people have come so far. Like
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
so
That's what I'm
much
talking
better
about.
now
Mhm.
than they were then. But
Yeah.
like the names that are here were some of these players are some of the most iconic to ever play
Yeah.
the game. I mean, Xpeke,
Iris, imagine
Xpeke,
that.
well, so as Xpeke Reckless, right? Like,
Mhm.
and then you have Froggen, Wicked, Shook, Tabs, right? Like Vasily and Zhao Wei Zhao, and I mean even that team at the time. I mean, 5 Chinese players in NA, they were pretty good.
Mm.
um, Not if EDG actually showed up, if their AD carry didn't shit the bed, that team was scary. I mean, you're the Uzi Insect team, both Samsungs.
Oh man, Vasily. And then he went crazy. Did you guys ever watch that video of him?
Nope. I've
Oh
heard
I
my,
don't
about it,
think
but I'm
so.
not gonna watch it. That's right.
he's
This was the
crazy.
Worlds where Svenskaren had a 3-game suspension, so Gilius was used for the first 3 games.
Oh, I think I remember hearing
And then
about that.
OMG's support got replaced after group stage.
That
Wow.
Fnatic team is like iconic too.
Speke, Cyanide, so as Reckless. Yeah.
Yellowstar, yeah.
So, and then
This was peak League of Legends.
I don't
even
even
gameplay was
like
worse,
this.
but it was peak. Yeah. I mean, this
This
player.
was before I had even started playing the game, if I remember correctly. I don't like this. This was so long ago, actually. Holy.
I watched every game at that Worlds, man.
I remember this is like the
Every game.
first like real season I got to watch like the
First
thing, and
season
it's like
I
so entertaining.
first season I watched was season 3 because I was there when Monte Cristo blew the whistle and offered people tickets on the Korean hype train. I was there. I was watching it. I bought a ticket. Dude, that clip is so iconic, man. Oh my gosh. Do you guys, please, you know the clip, right? Please?
Yeah.
Oh, God. It's such an iconic clip. I hope.
AHQ, oh my god.
Since we're
Remember-
also talking about Worlds, have any of you caught some of the games? I know that there's been a Twitch streaming like all
Oh
the
yeah,
seasons.
the little championship one where it's going
Yeah.
back through them. I haven't
I don't got time for that shit.
I haven't yet because they were when I checked yesterday, I think it was season 3 still. And honestly, I mean it's somewhat cool to watch Fakers and Impact like back then, but the level of play is pretty bad. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like it's actually hard to watch. Plus, it's old. It was old map, and it's just hard for me to
It's hard
watch.
to watch. Like that old map is so ugly.
There's some people that love the nostalgia, can watch it
Oh yeah.
anytime, but the old map and it's like old map, like not even the newer one without alcove.
Mm-hmm.
It's not visually especially like the Baron. Like watching, oh man, have we
I
come?
don't like the health bars. The health bars were terrible.
The health bars were so bad back in the day.
Yeah.
But you know what was better? The observers.
True.
True.
Actually, world's observers are always pretty good. It's the NA region observers, and I think
We should import some observers now.
True.
oh man, you know if um League of Legends did like what Call of Duty did for their observing team, where they had like a 15-minute video where the observers of Call of Duty talked about like all the things they do and like because in Call of Duty you control like overhead camera. There are different people that are on specific players and like a whole bunch of third person, like 4 different third person cameras getting different angles of the match. Like it's crazy how many observers they have for one game, and they did like a whole skit on them, and like during their championship that they just had, I mean they were showing observer reactions. Like they do so much more for their observers and shout them out so much more. And in League of Legends, it's like you hear them shout out like thanks producers and all that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
where are the thank you observers, man? Observers just get aside from every now and then, I will say there are a couple times where like an observer catches like an Ash arrow or like an Ezreal that stops a base or something crazy that
Mm-hmm.
like
Mhm.
that would have been missed, but and the casters will say something like "Man, thanks, observer," but you don't really hear observer shoutouts.
It's unfortunate.
You do hear production shoutouts, but not
Oh
observer.
yeah. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. I
Rest
guess
in
it's like
peace,
the main thing
observers.
you see. But observers are like the
Undervalued. I mean, how
undervalued.
I don't even know how many there are. Like for a single game, right? Is it just one? Is it 3?
I mean, each observer watches like 6 different things. So
Right? Like is it 1? Is it 3? Is it 5? Like do you have one for each lane matchup plus a jungler? Like
I think there's definitely multiple.
there's
I mean
definitely
there
multiple.
has to be at least 2 for them to have replays.
Yeah.
But that's for me, right? Like in Call of Duty, I know how many they had because they showed me. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but different games. But it's something like that. It's just small, but matters a lot in my opinion. But to round it out, okay, new patch, not the new one that's 11.16 we're all playing on. I couldn't care about that one to be honest. I won't lie. Um, changes on there aren't as big as like some of the ones coming on 11.17. Um, to start, we got Echo Jungle buffs. I mean, all these are tentative. They could all change. Still pretty new patch, but Echo Jungle buffs, kind of nice. Evelyn R buffs. We already have some Evelyn players in pro play. We've even had some Echo Jungle players. They haven't seen any success in LPL. I don't think I've seen Echo Jungle anywhere else so far, but I know I've seen it in
Not the
LPL.
Lissandra buffs.
The
Oh no.
Sandra buffs.
It's not the Sandra buffs aren't not enough yet. I don't think.
I know they aren't enough.
She's already being picked, but I don't think they're
Yeah.
enough to make her like crazy.
Yeah.
The Rengar buffs. Ooh, no E cast time anymore. The way his passive works is different. I'm loving it. Um, maybe we'll get some. SOFM won't be at Worlds, but maybe we'll get a Rengar at Worlds again. GP's back. He's already back, but GP buffs. They're changes, but they're buffs.
Like they are trying to make like very hype worlds or something because
Yes.
these are the type of buffs that make League of Legends very entertaining to
I don't know.
watch.
Some of them are, but like Assassin Cane nerfs, Blue Cane nerfs feels bad. Aurelia nerfs, I get it, but feels bad. She's an exciting champion to watch, and we have some of the, for top lane especially with Flandre, Khan, Nuggery, Breathe. Keen won't be there, but Afari. There's some really good top laners that are cracked on Aurelia. Doinby's insane at Aurelia. There's some insane Aurelia players that probably won't be playing the champ after some of these nerfs. I like what they did to Graves, where they're nerfing him in lane by touching his mana pool.
Yeah,
But like
He
for
needed
jungle,
that for sure.
but for where jungle, where you have the mana regen, like you don't spam Q in the jungle to where like
yeah.
you go So I kind of like the change there so far.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like Senna buffs before Worlds. I like Senna. Not everyone's gonna like Senna, but Senna Tomken's just gone, so I like Senna buffs in general, especially ones like they're giving her back some of that soul chance for actually farming again.
It's not just a little bit; it's actually a very
It's a
significant
lot,
It's
amount.
yeah.
double, right? It's like from
It's
4 to
double.
8.3, so it's
Mm-hmm.
double.
It's now
Plus, her attack speeds
8.33%.
ratio is going up some more now that the Rage Blade interaction's gone. Like they're giving her some more attack speed.
Or crit damage as well. Like
Zaya changes, they're pretty nice.
The big thing for me here is, do you guys think the Wits End change really does much? Obviously, it hurts the people that rush it, but with the ADC meta kind of just being the whole shield bow into Wits End,
it,
do you think
yes,
that
because
changes anything
do you
really?
remember? Do you remember how Sunfire used to be a flat damage and it was always rushed by top laners?
Yep.
I mean, yes.
It's kind of like what they're trying to do here, because they didn't want it to be so overpowerful or powered that like they could just build a second item and just be absolutely correct. And it's a fairly cheap item, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're
I
trying
think
to make
like
it more
even like the
scaling so
summoner
it doesn't
changes are
impact
pretty big.
power.
Like the AD is pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ghostblade changes are really insane. Like this
Oh
item,
wait.
this item is it's like so Serpent's Fang people built it even without shields because it was so efficient with how much
Mm-hmm.
stats it gave. That is Ghostblade. It still gives 60 AD. Oh no, it doesn't. It gives 55,
It
55.
gives 55
but it
now.
gives 15
It gives
haste
ability haste though.
instead.
Mm-hmm.
It also went down by 100. It still gives you the
Yeah.
movement speed passive. The build path feels even better than it did before.
What's the
This item is insane.
lethality
It's 18.
for Yoma's? 18 still?
Yeah, it's the same. It's like
18 lethality, 15 ability haste. Instead of building out of a pickaxe, you can build more long swords for it. It feels absolutely fantastic.
That
Um,
actually just feels so much better. Yeah, hold
if
up.
I'm
and
playing like an assassin, if I'm playing like Zed, it's always sucks to like build Yomus because of not having the ability haste or whatever.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And it doesn't
But
give you the
like
value Serpent's Fang did with the shield thing, so it wasn't like a
exactly,
huge difference. The Hull Breaker change too. Dude, this item, I don't know how much we'll see. It'll affect like pro play, because split pushing meta is still kind of. I mean, people have easier time playing around it, but
Mm-hmm.
man, 100 extra health. It's like Stride Breaker, where they like change the health on it. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's pretty nice.
I mean, it's what they did with like all like the early on when they're buffing like the Sunfire items, and they just started giving you health, and it was just absolutely broken because one
Mm-hmm.
item just made someone super tanky.
Um, I'm not sure I understand the fleet ones. The change. I don't know if you saw it. I mean, I get the decrease for ranged healing, but they increase the healing overall on it on fleet. But it looks like it's
Mm-hmm.
30% effective for melee champ. I don't know if I'm just misreading it, like what it means. 30% effective for melee champs, if that's for like
Oh
on
wait, they're
minions.
taken away from ranged.
Yes, they're taking away from ranged, but I don't know about the second part. Like, is it? It's more healing, but is it more for melee champs still? Like, it sounds like
It's
nerfing how much it is for minions, but on champions you heal more, or
yeah. I think
Yeah,
they're trying to make it so you have to use it on champions to really get
yeah.
full value.
I feel
Is does this count for monsters
It
as
feels
well?
really. It feels
it
really bad
does.
though.
The 30% would be on monsters, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird change. I mean, the items or the rune's pretty
Is it 30%?
bad.
Because what I'm looking at is like it goes from 100% for melee on minion mod to like 20% based off of what they.
The most
Oh,
recent
that's what it used to
patch,
be.
yeah, the most recent patch on PB, it was 30% effective.
Okay.
So they realized 20% was probably too much. I don't know. We'll see. That
I
one's
don't know.
probably
It's
subject to change. I mean, Zed nerfs aren't really their nerfs. Their changes. He's got some buffs. He's got some nerfs. They shifted damage from his E to his Q. So
I,
I mean, it's really nice because like 80 carries won't complain as much now when they get one shot by a ZR. Oh, he missed every Q but still killed me. It probably won't happen
yeah,
Mhm.
anymore. Uh,
yeah.
15% AD is a lot to lose on your E. So
Here's a problem though with the Yomu's buff. You're still gonna get
true,
run down.
true.
Mhm.
Not to
So
mention he's gonna do more damage.
yeah, 100%. So
Truthfully, like Lucian Viego changes are big, but I don't really want to. I don't want to think about them right now until they're official, like official. But like,
Okay, I
I don't
have to
know.
get your take on it. So
Yeah.
what's your take on the Amumu change with the double stack Q?
that's gonna be crazy.
um,
I don't think he's still like the
two
jungle is
charges.
in the right place for him yet, but
I think. Um, I mean, so they nerfed his ult too, right?
yeah.
But I think
I believe
with the
so.
way tenacity works, I actually think he's gonna be a little bit like Leona, where there are games where like if you have too much AP on your team and you pick a Mumu and people can build Merc Treads super easily, he's still really bad. Because the CC just doesn't last long if everyone's doing it.
Mhm.
But I do think with the Q change, he has way more like stickability. He just has to survive.
Mhm.
I mean, yes, he's a tank, okay, but it's
Yeah.
still tanks get blown up pretty quick. I mean, 3 seconds, because it's 3 seconds after you use it, even with two charges.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's 3 seconds.
so I mean, 3 seconds is still. I mean, yes, his ult stuns for 1.5, but the biggest problem with the Mumu is his Q is telegraphed and it wasn't easy to hit in the first place. So you might see people like queuing to minions first and then waiting out the 3 seconds to queue again. I think for things like that with ganks, it's pretty insane.
Mhm.
Being able to
Mhm.
now, like especially ganky mid, you can queue to like the ranged minion and then keep running and then queue
Yeah.
again. Um, they'll be close to their tower, but not fully under it probably in 3 seconds. So
It's not just that. You could use it to instead of using like your Q that you have to try to hit like the enemy champion, you could always just Q2 a range minion, press R
yep,
to hold them in place and
and then
then
queue
try to
again.
CC chain them. That'd be
Yes,
really
yeah,
good.
Mhm.
yeah. There's some, and then I mean, not even like now, like if you can survive, right? If you get a head on a Mumu, you can queue to the front line, R and walk past the front line and queue the back line, right? Like there are new ways now to play a Mumu. It's cool.
Mhm.
I I'm gonna bet we're gonna see one Amumu at Worlds, whether it's in play-ins or in group. If this stays, we will probably see an Amumu at Worlds.
I'm actually most excited about the Echo buff to the jungle. I really enjoy watching Echo in the jungle because it barely can. It's more, I guess. Takes a lot more skill to Echo Jungle than a lot more like Rumble Jungle, shit like that.
Mhm.
Yep,
Like Echo Jungle takes a lot more skill,
it does.
and
It
I
doesn't
think
feel
it
like it
also
when you're
brings a
getting
lot more.
deleted by Echo, but
Yeah,
it does take more skill to play Echo than Rumble. um, it's
it just brings another unique touch to the jungle, I guess. Instead of how they were forcing goddamn Morgana and Rumble
yep,
into every game,
taking a
this one
jungler that
feels like
already is one and making him stronger.
yeah,
Um, yeah. I mean, I would be remiss as a support main if I didn't mention Leona nerfs and Nami buffs, but the Leona W nerfs just make
not
certain
enough.
lanes more unplayable. But I mean, yeah, you have Aftershock W, like the 5 resist is like maybe an auto attack difference.
Yeah, it
Probably not even an auto. It's probably going to be like 15 damage, 20
yeah, and just
damage.
like Leona still gets out like 90% of the time with more than like
So,
100 health, so
and then like
it's not gonna do
Nami buffs are big. I I have to. I can't remember. I know it's 20 mana total. I don't remember how it affects the per levels part.
it's
Um,
20. Actually no,
it's like
actually
5 per level
five
probably.
level,
It's the
yeah.
same start and then 5 per level probably.
Increase the damage as well, I believe,
It's big. I don't
and
think
then
it's
base
not
HP goes up.
it's not enough for pro play. I don't think,
No,
but
especially when like
for your
Leona's still a thing.
solo queue and for like gold platinum, I mean, it is good. I mean, I know I've been asked the question because she's one of the champs I play. I've been asked by some of my friends, like, why is Nami bad? Well, her W mana was the first one. I almost always said it's like I feel like I have to build tier because I cost 130 mana to press fucking W.
Yeah, it feels like a Blitzcrank Q.
Yeah, it's like my heal should not be 3 times as much as Soraka's. It feels really bad.
Second, her HP was
HP,
just too low.
they are giving her 15 HP, and I mean you were talking about this a little bit with maybe with some rune changes. We're taking HP per level instead of taking like double adaptive or adaptive CDR. You take one adaptive force, you take a resist armor or MR, probably armor,
Mhm.
if you're laning against an AD carry, unless you're laning against Ziggs, and then you take health, and then you take the HP one instead of instead of the Spell Thief's Edge, you take the shield thingy, whatever it's called. You get like 50 to 75 more HP level 1, which is a lot. So maybe. She's
I
close
mean,
enough.
she does have really unique abilities. That's what one thing I like about her. Like her her tidal wave is insanely strong.
She's a
If
maybe. I don't think she's ever blind pickable, but
yeah,
there are games where you can pick her. And champions like Zac have become popular in jungle somewhat in some regions. LPL's played a lot of Zac, or not a lot. They played a decent amount of Zac. Some other regions have picked up Zac a little bit. Into champs like Zac, Nami works well. Um,
I feel like perfectly fine with playing Nami into like Lulu now. Like
yes, I love like Nami into Enchanters is pretty fine.
yeah,
Others you can't play into Nautilus. You can't play it into Leona.
can't
Gragas,
throw doing
you
a
can play it into
thresh.
you can play it into Gragas support.
Yeah,
Maybe
Mm-hmm.
Gragas E
I don't
flash is
think
still
they
death.
people. Okay, but are you talking about Gragas support?
Yes, Gragas
I
support.
don't think people are gonna usually take the Gragas
No,
earlier,
no, you
right?
Gragas
So
isn't. I think you can play it into Rel, which is the Rel buffs that happened. I don't feel like they were big enough to bring her back. I just think people saw the W buffs, were like, oh, that champ still exists, and it's another tank engage, another planer again.
I think if
But Nami's
Nami
really good
times
into
it
Rel.
perfectly, actually bubble roll out over the W.
You can bubble Rel out of the W. You
Yeah.
also have your E slow with your W. Your range is actually bigger than Rel's W range. So if you actually at LAN with zero ping, or if you have like actual low ping, you can dodge Rel reliably. Um, and she's one of the few champs like if you have good enough reactions, your R completely fucks Rel as well. So
Oh yeah. That's the big thing about Rel is like it's a very punchable champion.
and I mean
Like
you know how like when once Rel goes in, she's so slow. It's such an easy bubble hit too. So like if you don't have to bubble to cancel it and you dodge it, it's pretty easy to kill Rel. So maybe we'll see. I don't know what support in the world would play Nami. There's not many willing to, in pro play. So, but maybe we'll see Nami as an answer to Rel because teams have been like blind picking Rel. Um, what God, what team was it? Wasn't it an A team that picked Rel into Thresh? No, no, it was fucking Carrier. It was T1. They picked Rel like R5 into Thresh and just could not play the game. Oh my god. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure it
I
was Carrier.
I don't know. I thought Sword Art did it this
I
past
just
weekend. I don't remember for sure though.
I, I just remember I think it was LCK because it was like they would literally it was I'm pretty sure because I remember like it was like Atlas's voice because they were talking and level one they tried to go in on the Thresh, he got flayed. Then he tried again like literally 15 seconds later off cooldown, tried to go again with his W, got flayed again.
Oh
It happened
yeah.
like
Okay.
times at level 2. By level 2 they
Hmm.
tried to go in. I'm pretty sure um that it just happened, and
you know,
it's so funny.
if I ever see a Yumi lane, I'm taking Nami into it.
Respect. I would just pick Alistair, or Leona, or Nautilus and just kill them,
Just try it. Yeah. I mean, if it's an Ezra Yumi,
but I do
don't
think
want to.
if you're gonna, I mean, that's in solo queue. I do think in pro play like you can punish the Yumi, so you have like two options in
Mhm.
like high and competitive games, which is pick the tanks and engages, and as a team commit to diving Yumi.
Yeah.
If you don't commit to diving Yumi as a team, her team will play around the Yumi, and then it will get out of lane, and the Yumi will pop off.
Yeah.
It
Hmm.
doesn't happen because it's when you pick Yumi, it's such a crutch, and if the enemy team's prepared to play around Yumi, then they'll kill her. If you're not prepared to play around the Yumi, you won't punish her and you'll lose.
I mean, you see like a
But if you don't
lot
want
of
to play around the Yumi, right? You don't want to dive Yumi. Just like a team like EG where they don't want to play around their bot lane. Nami, I mean it's Ignar, he wouldn't do it, but Nami would work, right? Like you're not playing around your bot lane. Nami could work, and then you hit like mid to late game, but
it's just like gold, platinum, diamond. Like they, it always seems like they're always in this habit of I need to
Mhm.
CS more, CS more. They never look for the plays that could just
Okay,
you know
and I was right. It
go for it.
was T1 Genji, and I remember the biggest reason too was because it was Faker's Aurelia game. It was the game they lost.
Oh, it was game
Ugh,
1. Okay,
They
I
R5
remember it
they
now.
R5 Rel into Thresh Aphelios.
that's
Oh wait,
ridiculous.
no. They R4'd Rel into Thresh Aphelios and R5'd Aurelia into Azir. Or was it the other way around?
Like
Was it the other way
Thresh's
around?
Blazins is over. I don't know.
No, it was. This was an R. I'm gonna have to check. I think it was an R5 Rel. Picks and bans. Picks and bans.
That's called a brain fart right there.
I know it was like Rel and it was. Wait. No, it was R4 Rel, but it was still into Thresh Aphelios.
They knew it was Thresh Aphelios,
And
so
and Lee Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Thresh Aphelios, Lee Sin is Rel. Um,
how did they? How
yeah,
did they?
because then they picked Azir Kennen and their answer was Aurelia to Azir Kennen.
How did they expect to win? Even get out of that lane phase like unharmed?
Dude, you should have watched it. How I don't know, man. It's probably a coach thing. I doubt Carey asked for it because literally level one he tried a W on Thresh, got flayed.
Yeah.
And then they got zoned from the wave, and he tried again, got flayed, and then they were screwed pot lane.
Yeah. Like like Rel can never W in unless the is down.
But I will say J4 is also coming back. I mean, his patch didn't have J4, but 11.16 did, and he's been cropping up a lot more. Um,
Oh yeah.
so
I mean, it's a very
it's a
dangerous
traditional champ
pick.
people know. I bring it up because I was talking about the T1 Gen G series, and Clid picked it twice and lost both times. But I remember the stat was like he was like 51-8 or something on Jarvan all time.
I'm pretty sure it's like very very strong right now.
Yeah,
Like
like
it's
so
getting picked
insane.
a lot.
It's pretty good. I don't know. G4 is a weird champ. He's good in the right game. He's not blind pickable, but I think he's still one of those champs when you see him, people want to have to basically cheese gank. They can't just like power farm. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
with AD buffs, like okay, maybe he could power farm, go full lethality against a squishy team, pop off. But there are other champs like Diana does that well. Echo's gonna do that well now, you know. So why
Like Hecarim is one buff away from being like
good?
terrorizing.
I
Yeah.
don't know. See, I would agree, but
See it again.
they're nerfing Sunder now too. So,
Yeah.
but Ghostblade buffs. The thing is, Serpent's Fang. I think I saw it a couple times. Hecarim was actually a champ that could build Serpent's Fang. Like you could. So maybe we'll see. I don't know. Hecarim is close to coming back, so
Mhm.
he's on the cusp.
A
But
lot of champions that are on that cusp though.
Worlds is patch
Mm-hmm.
11.19, so we have 3 patches.
Do you
11.17.
think they're gonna give like an Oriana buff or an Azir buff? That one.
I think depends on what happens with Syndra. She's kind of like sort of coming back. I think we're gonna see like an Syndra or Orianna are gonna get a change, one of the two. Um, I think Kai'Sa's gonna get a buff, a small one.
Oh yeah, they have to.
She's gonna get like a random buff. Twitch is gonna get buffed. I think my
Oh God.
is gonna get buffed. Because they just nerfed Wits, so I think Twitch is gonna get buffed on 11.18. Uh, and I think
They're
for
gonna make an Ezra buff. Oh my god.
for jungle or for mid, I expect TF to get a buff. And for top lane, I think Talia jungle is gonna get a buff as well. That's my jungle one. I
That'd
think
be pretty good.
Talia jungle is
Good.
gonna show up. And then for top lane, Wukong. I think Wukong is gonna get a buff. I'm gonna make some
Wait, do you
guesses.
think he's gonna get a buff?
I
I
think
thought he was
Wukong's gonna.
pretty
I think he's
high
OP.
win rate already in
I
like
think he's
Felgia,
OP.
but
I think he's OP and he's gonna get a buff. It's gonna be like
oh
Graves is
no.
It's gonna
OP.
make a picker ban.
It might be like a 280 buff or something. But like
You
I
know
think
they're gonna want to keep Camille in the mix.
yeah, I don't think she
Mm-hmm.
needs any changes right now. But I
Yeah,
think it's
she's
like
just really good.
GP changes and some other changes.
I love the GP changes. I think we're gonna see more and more GPs coming out again.
I love Gangplank, man. I mean, I love
It's
watching the Gangplank barrel and G2's hopes.
the fact, yeah, you could get 5 barrels now.
It's great.
Is insane because you could literally have one fight where you double barrel or like triple barrel and then get
It
another double
also
barrel.
means like some of the worst. It buffs good players a lot, and I think the
Mhm.
worst ones also get the buff because it's like if you mess up if you combo but they see your barrel and they kill it, right? Like
Mhm.
it's not as punishing because you can immediately still do the chain.
Yeah,
You put down the barrel in front of them and they like insta kill it. Well, you can just place the next one right away too.
exactly.
Like
Like it gives you so much utility, especially when trying to clear waves.
and then I mean the movement speed nerf can be big in some matchups on its passive. So there is some trade off, but it's not big enough trade off. I don't think. You don't. I mean, most people don't pick GP to just go like 1v1 the enemy sideliner all game. They pick
Yeah,
him to like you can wave clear the sideline and then ult too. So it's like,
yeah, and then one shot later in the game.
but that about wraps it up. I don't have anything else unless
I
you
can't think of
guys.
anything else either.
I mean, week 2 is about to start, and
YOLO week 2.
let's see how it goes. We will have Otter Talk again starting
Otter talk.
tomorrow. We are recording this on Monday at like
Yeah, it's technically
midnight
for me.
my
It's not
time.
Tuesday already, so
Well, for me, it's still Monday.
we'll have Otter talk Tuesday. I won't.
Mhm.
I probably won't be there. I think I don't get off till 10, so
Yeah, it sucks for you.
I'm like never free till after 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Whoa!
Meetings all day, baby. Let's go.
What time do you start working?
10. I work 10 to 10 most
Oh,
nights,
okay.
or 9 to 10. I'm a manager. I'm a district manager, so I work like 60. I work like 65 hours a week right now, man.
That sucks.
It's a lot. It's a lot, but I get paid overtime, so
When do you find time to play League of Legends?
I don't really. I mean, I've been playing more Destiny than League recently, but that's beside the point. I watch way more League than I play right now. So, I mean, I absolutely love watching competitive League. Um, LPL's crazy. Please, please, guys. I'm gonna ask all of you to watch. Okay, even if FPX is just gonna, I think FPX is gonna show on everyone. But even if FPX is gonna win on everyone, the lower bracket's gonna be crazy.
Hey, at least I could watch Worlds this season.
Yeah,
So,
it just moved. Yeah, with it being in Europe, better times to watch.
yep.
True.
Thank God.
True. But that is everything. Maybe we'll be back next week. Who knows? Question mark.
We'll see.
A week, 2 weeks. Otter Talk will be. I mean, see, you say tomorrow, but this isn't even gonna be uploaded by the
I think I
time.
will. I think I'll make sure it's uploaded before.
Oh, we
So,
might get an upload within the
Double content,
double
pog.
content
content.
for you missing content the week before. But thank everyone. Thank you everyone for watching, listening, watching the black screen as Billy struggles to edit in a logo.
That's not me.
I know.
It's Traxon.
Blame
That's
Traxon.
Traxon's job. He doesn't do it.
Yeah, you know.
Should fire him.
Yep. Well, you guys, everyone have a good night. Thank you guys for, midnight recording. That's our dedication to you guys. Midnight recording.